G'day, how you doing? It's me, Camui Kushi, and today we're going to be having a little bit of a look at the teased job changes for tanks coming in Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. They teased the job changes last night, May 16th, and we're going to have a little bit of a sticky beak at what they were talking about. So, first of all the tanks are going to be getting upgrades to their mitigation. They're going to be getting an upgrade to Rampart, they didn't specify what, and they're going to be getting an additional effect on their 30% damage reduction. So if you think about Warrior right now, Vengeance has a reflect damage kind of effect on it, as well as the 30% mitigation. So I'm assuming it's going to be something like that, and surely Warrior will get something new so it's not left out of the new toy gang. Reprisals also going to be getting a buff to 15 seconds at some point. Hopefully these are just traits that we get in one lot, like it's just a tank mastery trait or something like that, and they're not like 3 skills, because I kind of feel like that would be a waste. So that's what all the tanks are getting. They're also getting some big boomies at the end of some existing moves, but we'll get to that with each tank. So first of all, we got Paladin. This is actually what I started the game as way back. So for Paladin, its second and third hits of Atonement are going to be changed into new actions. Whether they're going to have a potency difference or if it's just an animation difference, we don't know. I'm assuming this is going to be motivation to get people to just use all 3 atonements and not drop any. I'm assuming that's what it is. It's a little carrot for us to do the full combo. Then there's going to be a final hit on the Convidior combo after Blade of Valor, so you'll do Requiescat, then you'll Convidia, you'll do other 3 sword moves, and then there will be another one. So there'll be a total of 5 hits on the Convidior combo. And they don't have it on the slide, but they did mention that Goring Blade will be an action that becomes available after Fight or Flight. So I'm assuming this means you just won't be able to use Goring Blade outside of your Fight or Flight window anymore. So let's have a little bit of a looky at how that is in the job action trailer that they showed off, hey? Yeah. Let's play it. Boop. So you can see here they do a bunch of random stuff, including activating their tank stance, doing a Holy Spirit, doing a mitigation. They've updated a bunch of animations for all of the tanks for existing skills. So some of these might appear new, but a lot of them are just going to be existing actions with new animations. But you can see those were 2 different hits after Atonement, so I'm assuming those are the new skills. That looks like a new animation for Requiescat. There's Passage of Arms. So they're kind of showing here, you can do Requiescat, sit on your stacks, and then move into your blade combo. The Convidior, your blades, more blades. I think that's Blade of Valor, so the new one is that one. Bajillion swords come out of the ground. Pretty cool looking. So yeah. I did not mean to go to Warrior. So let's have a little bit of a looky at how that is in the game. Yeah? Yeah, let's whoosh over there. Qua. So here I am in Neverreap. I'm currently Warrior. Let me change to Paladin. There we go. So right now, you do your 1-2-3 combo. Fast Blade, Riot Blade, Royal Authority, and that'll give you 3 stacks of Atonement. So right now, you just press Atonement 3 times, 2, 3. And there are 3 hits with the exact same effect. They all have 400 potency, they all restore MP, and there's not really anything different about them. They also have the exact same potency as a properly comboed Royal Authority, so it's basically just like you go 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, as it is right now. The only difference, of course, is Royal Authority doesn't give you MP back. So that's the change they're making for Atonement. Hopefully it's not just an animation change. I really hope there's like, even if it's just 10 or 20 potency better. Like, they can't make it as good as Holy Spirit, but even if they make it a little bit better than just Atonement, I think that'll be motivation for people to actually use all 3 stacks. The other thing, of course, is... I'm not doing this optimally, I'm just going to activate Requiescat. You've got Confidior, Blade of Faith, Blade of Truth, and Blade of Valor. And of course, those all do more damage when they're used under Requiescat, which you currently get 4 stacks of. So that either they're going to have an extra stack of Requiescat for this new move, or it's just going to have a better potency on its own. I wouldn't be surprised if they just give you 5 stacks of Requiescat though. And then yeah, currently you can Goring Blade whenever, but they're going to be making it so you can only do it after Fight or Flight. At least that's how it sounded. And I think that makes sense, because that would let them combine the button and reduce a little bit of button bloat. Paladin already has a lot of buttons. Like you can see, I've got Clemency up here. I've got Shield Bash over here. And you got 2 targetable mitigations with Cover and Intervention. It's got a lot of buttons. I like that it has a lot of buttons, but it does have a lot of buttons. I think you could probably combine these 2 as well, because you're only ever going to want to use that after you do Requiescat anyway. So having you press that, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would mean pressing this button 6 times, which I guess is a bit monotonous, but I mean, you're already pressing this 4 times. What's 2 more times going to make a difference? But if you did that, that removes 2 slots for new abilities or whatever. Makes it a bit more manageable. But yeah, that's Paladin. I'm going to stop attacking this striking dummy. Stop stabbing it, my dude. You need to calm down. You need to calm down, fella. Calm down a little bit. So yes, that's what we were looking at with Paladin. Let's whoosh back over and have a little bit of a looksy-doodle at Warrior. Yeah? Warrior. There we go. Warrior. Bam. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a looky at Warrior now. So we'll go back over here. We got Warrior going. So what's different with Warrior? Well, first of all, they have a new action that'll be executed after 3 actions of Fell Cleave or Decimate while an enemy is still active. So basically, as it is currently right now, you get 3 Fell Cleaves for free whenever you activate in a release anyway. So we're getting a special boomy after that 3rd hit. And they'll be getting an extra hit after Primal Rend. So let's have a little bit of a looky at how that is in the trailer. Yeah? Boop. And we'll press play. So we've got... they do a move. Looks like in a release they do their Onslaught dashy thing. That looks like some kind of new move. Looks like... Orogeny, or whatever it is called. That looks like their new Vengeance. As in a release, there's Fell Cleave. I'm glad they aren't changing the Fell Cleave animation. Another Fell Cleave. Shake it off. Another Fell Cleave. And then this must be the new move. There's Primal Rend. And then there's big damage after Primal Rend. I noticed that they have a big old heckin' axe. Their axe gets bigger when they do their Primal Rend thingy. So nothing huge changed there, but let's have a little bit of a look in the game. Any whoozy, yeah? I wish. So back to my dude. I'll swap over to Warrior. There we go. So currently, you activate in a release. You get a free stack. 3 stacks of Fell Cleave. 1, 2, 3. And then you'll get a 4th thing that you can do after that. Now, the interesting thing is, Inner Release already gives you Primal Rend ready, which lets you do Primal Rend. And then you'll be able to do a 2nd thing after that. So, essentially, this is just a big old buff to Inner Release. You'll do Inner Release, you'll do 3 Fell Cleaves and a 4th hit. And then you could potentially do... what's this called? Inner Chaos. Just do them. And then you're like, okay, time to Primal Rend. and then do the other hit. So it's a little bit busier. I don't think it really changes much about what you're doing though. It just some couple of extra hits, really. And it does it's. I'm assuming what they're gonna do is you'll do 3 fell cleaves and then fell cleave will transform into this new move. But we'll see, because currently Infuriate transforms fell cleave into another. Like these transform into other moves once you've activated Infuriate. Anyway, let's slap it. I can't remember those names. What is it? Inner Chaos and Chaotic Cyclone. Yes. So yeah, it basically gives you these while also filling your beast gauge. Actually, that's another thing that's interesting as well. I'm assuming the new hit, because the fell cleaves you get from in a release are free. They're just stacks of it. The 4th hit will probably be a stack of something as well. So yeah, nothing really huge though being changed there. Just some extra boomies along with the other regular tank changes, which I'm not going to complain about. I always like some big boomies. But yeah, let's have a little bit of a peek now at Dark Knight. Okay, so Dark Knight. It's going to be getting an upgrade trait that turns Blood Weapon into Delirium. Currently, they're separate buttons, but they're going to be combining them into one button. And at presumably level 68, when you get Delirium currently, it will transform Blood Weapon into Delirium. Another thing they're going to be getting is a new action executed after Living Shadow. So once you use Living Shadow, you'll be able to do another attack, it sounds like. And they also, even though it's not on the slide, they also did say that Living Shadow will now no longer use Black Blood. So it'll be an ability that you use without having to worry about your resources. You'll be able to just jump straight into using Living Shadow, which is a very interesting change. So let's have a little bit of a looky how that works in the trailer. Boopity. Boopity. So interestingly, they didn't mention this, but it has a little dash here. Instead of using plunge, it has a dash gap closer, which makes me wonder if the tanks are going to be getting gap closers that have no damage associated with them. Does a bit of a combo, some mitigation. Here we go. That looked like it used the Delirium ability. Unfortunately, we can't see any buffs, so we can't see what they're doing with buffs. There's Living Shadow doing a bunch of stuff. The Living Shadow also dashed in. So there's ability there that it did with a bunch of shields, but I'm wondering if that's their new mitigation attack. And there you go. Living Shadow and the Dark Knight both did what looks like a new move, which is very interesting. So let's have a little bit of a looky at how that appears in the game. Yeah? Okay. So currently, Blood Weapon gives you 5 stacks of Blood Weapon. Increases your blood gauge with each hit. Increases MP with each hit. So if I go over here, spend some MP. There we go. Edge of Shadow. There we go. I've spent some MP. Now if I do a little bit of a hit, you can see I'm getting some MP back, and I'm also building blood gauge over here. Now that I've got 50 blood gauge, I can do Living Shadow. I couldn't do it before that point, but now I can. And Living Shadow mostly just does its own thing. You can do stuff independently of it. And I'm assuming the button for Living Shadow will become the new attack, because they don't seem to be enjoying the idea of adding new buttons in Dawn Trail. So yeah, that's the big one. They're combining these 2 buttons. Oh, I didn't do Delirium, but yes, you do that and you get 3 stacks of Delirium, which lets you do Blood Spill or Quietus without consuming any gauge. So, with Gunbreaker, they'll be getting a new action after Fetid Circle. Is basically just continuation after Fetid Circle. So you press your AoE 1-2, do a Faded Circle, then press continuation for an extra AoE hit. They also said they'll be getting a 3-step combo after Bloodfest, so you use Bloodfest and then you press a 1, 2, 3, presumably on the same button. It was not really made clear. And that won't cost any cartridge. Now, they didn't really say which move this was related to, but they did say one of the new moves is called Lionheart. I'm assuming it's a 3-step combo, because they mentioned it after. They mentioned that there was the English name after they talked about the 3-step combo. One thing they didn't mention on the slides, but they did mention when they were talking, is Sonic Break will be a move that is available after No Mercy. So, in a similar fashion to Goring Blade for Paladin, you'll have to use No Mercy, and then you'll be getting a trait called Break Ready or Ready to Break. So you'll be able to do Sonic Break after that, which kind of makes sense. You'd only ever use Sonic Break within your No Mercy window anyway. They're both 60-second cooldowns, so it would only make sense to use it within No Mercy. So you press No Mercy, and then you can press Sonic Break. Pretty cool. I'm assuming it'll probably be on the same button, so that'll get rid of your button bloat as well. So let's see how they look in the trailer. Yeah. Let's press the button. Here we go. So we got Gunbreaker doing its take stance. That looks like a new Heart of Corundum or something. It's hard to say. They got that little dashy as well that seemed to do no damage, like Dark Knight. So that's interesting. That stab in the ground move looks like the continuation one. And then they do their combo. There we go. This looks like the new... there we go. There's Bloodfest. And this looks like the new 3-step combo. No, that's the Gnashing combo, because that cost a gauge. Then after they finished that, they went into the new 3-step combo. There's Double Down. Blasting Zone. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. It does a lot of hits. I reckon that's probably Lionheart. In Final Fantasy VIII, Lionheart had a lot of hits going on. So that's probably the Lionheart move. Let's have a little bit of a looky at how Gunbreaker currently functions in the game, though, eh? Okay. So right now, you do your 1, 2, 3, and that gives you powder gauge. And that lets you do a move like your Gnashing Fang combo or Burst Strike. Bloodfest, you press that, it gives you 3. Lets you just jump straight into doing your Gnashing Fang and Double Down. Sonic Break, you just press it whenever. Usually you do it after No Mercy. So basically it seems like you do No Mercy, jump into your... press continuation, Bloodfest, go into your Gnashing Fang, do Double Down, do your Blasting Zone, drop your dots, and then you'll have a buff that will probably let you do the new Lionheart move, and then you'd go and spend whatever powder gauge charges you have left. As for the AoE, you do Demon Slice, you do Demon Slaughter, and then Faded Circle. This will give continuation the ability to continue off Faded Circle for a 4th hit in your AoE combo. Which is, I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. I was a little bit concerned they were going to do continuation off Double Down, but you kind of need Double Down to weave Blasting Zone and Bow Shock. So I'm pretty glad they did not put continuation on Double Down, if I'm being entirely honest. But yeah, that's it. That's Gunbreaker. I'm really interested to see how Lionheart changes the rotation, because you got 3 extra GCDs there. But yeah, that's it for the 3 tanks. We got all 4 of the tanks. They've got some new stuff going on. It's pretty cool. I'm really curious what that new dash on Dark Knight and Gunbreaker is about. I'm hoping all 4 tanks just get a gap close that has no damage associated to it. Because it's a bit of a pain trying to optimize for a fight and having to use your gap closes for damage within buffs and then just not having it later when you need it. It feels bad. But they aren't talking about that yet. We'll have to wait until the next live letter before they elaborate on that. But I am very curious how that's going to function. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope this video was of some use to you. I'm excited to see them elaborate more on the further job changes they've made. And I'm also excited to see what they've done in PvP for the tanks as well. I actually really enjoy Gunbreaker in PvP, so hopefully they don't change it too much. They might include Lionheart somehow. It'd be interesting, because they usually have like the big boomy capstone kind of special skills incorporated into the PvP, so it'd be cool if they did include Lionheart. But that's it for the tanks. If you're interested, I will have videos up for the melee DPS, the magical caster DPS, and the physical range DPS, as well as the healers. So give them a looky if you're curious about what they've changed about those as well. But until then, take care of yourselves, okay? Bye-bye. Take care. Do the YouTube stuff if you want. If you don't want to, that's also cool. You're a very cool person. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.